everyone, this is Marika and welcome back to another session of Community Health Nursing with me. In our previous session, we have discussed about what is noise, what are the different sources of noise, the type of noise, and also the effects and prevention and control of noise pollution. The topic for today's discussion is very interesting and it is dietary pattern. But before we move on to today's topic, let us quickly recall what is noise, what are the different types of noise, and what are the sources of noise. Noise is considered as a form of sound. Sound is a means of communicating with one another. It is a medium through which we communicate with one another. But noise is considered as the undesirable or unwanted component of the sound. Noise has various ill effects on the health of an individual, on the health of people, as well as for other living beings. Noise, when it is produced in excessive amount, causes noise pollution, which has ill effects not just on human beings, not just on the living organism, but on the entire environment. Noise has different sources, which includes domestic source, transportation source, defense equipment, construction work, and agricultural machines. Along with these different sources of noise, there are other miscellaneous sources of noise, which includes noise that is made by children while playing, the noise of children while crying, when we conversate with one another loudly, the bells of the churches and the temples, and using loudspeakers and amplifiers. We also discussed about the types of noise, which were continuous noise, impulse noise, and impact noise. Continuous noise is the noise that is produced continuously without any interruption for at least 10 minutes. Impact noise is a noise that occurs at a brief interval. And finally, we also discussed about impact noise, which is a sudden, sharp noise. Let us now move on to today's topic, which is dietary pattern and diet. So let us first see what is a diet. A diet is a type of food the person or a group of people consume in order to live. We as human beings, to work, for us to have energy, we need to consume food. So the kind of food that we consume, which gives us energy to work, is considered as diet. So a diet is a kind of food that a person consumes or a group of people consumes. What is dietary pattern? A dietary pattern is defined as the variety, the quantity, the proportion, and the combination of different kinds of foods, drinks, and nutrition in the diet and the frequency at which it is consumed. A diet is the kind of food that is consumed by an individual or a group of people. A dietary pattern is the quality, the quantity, the proportion, and the combination of different kinds of foods and drinks that are consumed by the people, and combination of food, drinks, or nutritions in the diet, and the frequency at which it is consumed. People in different regions eat very differently. What kind of diet is consumed in a particular place or a particular community does not match with the type of food that is consumed by another community. So every community has different kind of food that they consume, and it depends on their dietary pattern. The diet that is taken by people in different country is different, not just about the country. Even within the same country, different state will have different kind of dietary pattern that they follow, different kind of diet that they follow. The dietary pattern of a person may change, and it may change because of various circumstances, such as being married or immigrating to some other country, as well as when it is told by the doctor as a preventive measure for certain kind of illness. So dietary pattern of an individual might change depending on the circumstances. Sometimes it may be because the person is married to a different community, or the doctor have told the person to not consume certain kind of food. It can also be because of immigrating from one country to another. As I told previously, every country has different kind of dietary pattern that they follow. When we go to a new country, it is obvious that the dietary pattern that they follow, the kind of diet that they follow, is different from what is done in our country. So immigrating to a new country also brings changes in the dietary pattern of an individual. A recent analysis said that a healthy lifestyle can be defined as the lifestyle which has a low saturated fat diet with a lot of fruit and vegetables, higher level of oxygen, and excluding the smokers and the overweight subjects. I hope you've understood what is diet and what is dietary pattern and how dietary pattern might change according to circumstances. Let us see what is a healthy diet. Now, to put into very simple terms, a healthy diet is a diet that is focused or that is aimed at improving and maintaining the health of an individual. Our diet plays a major role in maintaining our health as well as preventing ourselves from any kind of diseases or infection. So, the diet that has the intention, the diet that is aimed at improving our health or maintaining our optimum health is considered as healthy diet. A healthy diet consists of all different kind of nutritions in appropriate amount. So there is a particular requirement of our body to consume every different type of nutrition. So the appropriate amount of nutrition is to be consumed, and a healthy diet is considered as a diet that has appropriate amount of the nutritions that are required by our body. A healthy diet also consists of a lot of fruits and vegetables and consumption of water. We are very familiar with the term balanced diet. What is a balanced diet? A balanced diet is defined as the diet which consists of all the nutritions, all the important components of the nutrition in appropriate quantity and proportion which is required by our body in order to maintain health as well as general well-being. A nutritious diet ensures to maintain the overall well-being of an individual, helps in maintaining the BMI of the body, which is body mass index, and also reduces the risk of several diseases such as cancer, diabetes mellitus, cardiovascular diseases, and osteoporosis. A healthy diet consists of sufficient amount of carbohydrate, fats, protein, vitamin, and minerals. Carbohydrates are the source of energy for our body. As we know, carbohydrate can be considered as the fuel that is needed by our body. Carbohydrate provides energy for our body to work. Carbohydrate provides the energy that is needed by our body for any kind of physical activities. Carbohydrate foods are composed of starch, sugar, and fiber. So carbohydrate, as I said, are the source of energy for our body to carry out any kind of physical activities. The carbohydrate is broken down in our body into glucose, and glucose is a form of sugar that is consumed by our cells in order to provide us energy to carry out every activities. The second important component of our food is fiber. Fiber helps the person to feel full for a longer period of time. When we consume fiber, we do not starve or we do not feel hungry for a longer period of time. It also helps to maintain the body blood sugar level and also helps in maintaining healthy colon. A healthy diet should approximately contain at least 20 to 30 grams of fiber in a day. Now, fiber also is of two types. One is soluble fiber and another one is the insoluble fiber. What is soluble fiber? As the term suggests, the soluble fibers are the fibers that can dissolve in water. Soluble fibers are the fibers that dissolve in water. It also helps to lower the body fat and maintain the blood sugar level. The primary source of soluble fiber are the fruits, beans, and oat products. The second type of fiber is insoluble fiber, and insoluble fiber, again as the term suggests, are the type of fiber that does not dissolve in water. Insoluble fiber are usually found in vegetables and whole grain products. The third important component of our diet is protein. Proteins are required by our body in order to maintain our body. Proteins are one of the most important nutrients that is required by our body. It helps to maintain our cells, our tissues, and organs. Lack of protein in our diet can result in reduced muscle mass, slow growth, lower immunity, and weakening of the heart and respiratory problems. As I said, proteins are required to maintain our cells, required to maintain our organs and tissue. When there's lack of protein in our diet, we see that there is slow growth, there is lack in muscle mass, lower immunity, as well as weakening of heart and respiratory problems. Proteins that we consume through our food is broken down into 20 different amino acids during the time of digestion. There are different types of proteins that are required by our body, which includes complete protein, incomplete protein, and complementary protein. Let us see one by one what are these proteins. The first one is complete protein. Complete proteins are those kind of food products that are able to provide us all the essential amino acids. For example, milk, meat, cheese, eggs are the source of full or complete protein. So complete protein are those kind of food products which are able to provide us all the essential amino acids. The second one that we have is incomplete protein. As the term suggests, incomplete proteins are the proteins that lack in one or two essential amino acids. In complete protein, we've seen that it consists of all the essential amino acids. In incomplete protein, amino acids are present, but it lacks in one or two essential amino acids. The third one, as I said, is the complementary protein. Now, what is complementary proteins? Complementary proteins are the combination of two or more incomplete protein, which together provides all the required essential amino acids. In complementary proteins, two or more incomplete protein combine together in order to provide all the required essential amino acids. The sources of complementary proteins are rice and dry beans. Let us move on and have a small discussion on dietary pattern. As we know, dietary patterns are defined as the quality, the proportion, and the combination of food, drinks, and nutrition that is consumed and the frequency at which it is consumed in a particular place. So the dietary pattern is different, as I said, from one place to another. It differs between one state to another and from one country to another as well. The diet of the people is influenced by various factors such as climate, religion, belief, and the custom of the person. For example, if we take our country, India, it is majorly seen that Hindus do not consume non-vegetarian food. Hindus are majorly vegetarian. And if we talk about Muslim communities, we see that they do not consume pork. And this is according to the difference in the religion. So it depends on a religion, it depends on the climate of the place, it also depends on the belief and custom of the person. Let us now move on and see the dietary goals, what should be consumed and what is the amount of nutrition that we should consume. Dietary fat should be limited to approximately 30% of daily intake. Excessive consumption of refined carbohydrate must be avoided. Food products that are rich in natural source of fiber must be consumed. Sources that are very high in fats also must be restricted, and alcohol consumption must be restricted in order to maintain good health. The intake of salt must be reduced to not more than 5 grams in a day. And finally, protein intake should be at least 10 to 15% of the daily intake amount. So these are the various things that must be taken care of while we plan our diet. To summarize, today we have discussed a very short topic, which is diet and dietary pattern. I hope you've understood the class well, and I'll see you all in the next session. Thank you and have a great day ahead.